Go. Okay, so these are my parents. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Christine.
Omar.
Okay, so how long have you been teaching?
I have been a teacher for 20 years.
17 years.
Okay, and how long of those, or how many of those years were you an ELL teacher?
I was an ELL teacher for 3 years, just ELL, but when I taught preschool, I had about half my class as Spanish speaking.
Okay.
And I started as a ELL teacher, but then I moved to 4th and 5th grade for about 3 years. Mm-hmm. And then I moved on to ELL from then on, so about 14 years.
Okay, very impressive.
Which they call us ELD teachers now, right?
Mm-hmm.
It fell over, hold on. Okay, so can you tell us one of the biggest challenges of being an ELL teacher?
For me, the biggest challenge is trying to reach kids to the level of English that they need to be proficient to function in the classroom, to succeed. So that would probably be the biggest challenge. It's a slow process. It takes a lot of patience from us, and especially the regular classroom teacher.
Mm-hmm.
My challenge was always the high stakes testing that they place on the ELL children and expect them to be at the same level as their English speaking peers within 1 year of arriving in the country.
That's a shame. Okay, next question. How do you guys handle children who speak a language other than Spanish, like Chinese or Arabic or something like that?
I actually found it a challenge, but it was easier for me to teach them just because the students did not have to rely on speaking to me in Spanish, and it forced them to speak English. It forced them, and that was probably the easiest thing for them, was to start picking up the language, start forcing them to repeat in English, to copy things in English, and to sing in English, or for whatever reason they just didn't have that crutch.
And there probably weren't other kids who spoke that same language either. Not as many as like the amount of Hispanic children that were at the school that they could rely on.
Right.
Anything
I would say the same thing.
Yeah. Alrighty. So what are maybe one or two of the best strategies that a teacher can use in their classroom?
So I use a lot of the things I used in my early childhood preschool. Even when I went to teaching ELL with the older kids, they liked the big books, they liked the hands-on materials, they liked songs and games and small group work. All the things I used in pre-K, my ELL students, even in the older grades, really liked those strategies.
Yeah, I mean, anything that has lots of visuals, that has either songs, like she said, or chants, anything that has lots of vocabulary with the picture added to it. If they're going to learn something new, it's always, probably thematic helps, having a theme, and just lots of visuals, lots of repetition.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Is there anything else you'd like to share?
I think using the common language, I think technology is very important. It's one of the common languages, whether you speak English or anything else. Kids love the technology, and if you can bring technology into the teaching, that's always good. And I always use a lot of websites.
Good. All right.
Yeah, I used my iPad actually for my Chinese students. When I had them, I didn't know how to communicate with them, so I relied on my iPad and translated just short, simple phrases, and that made a huge impact on them, just themselves communicating to me if they didn't have something to say. So it just closed that gap, that bridge.
Would you also use that when talking to their parents, or did you ever get a chance to talk to their parents?
My parents actually spoke enough English.
Oh.
Yes. If I didn't, I probably found some translating service. But yeah, it was very, very helpful.
Good. Alrighty. Well, then I think we're done. If there's nothing else you want to say.
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, thank you. Say bye.
Bye.